Yo, what's happening, people? Back again for another stream. Don't forget to smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In. What a game yesterday. What an ending. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. Obviously, eventual winners was Real Madrid with a 2-1 victory. Goal coming in stoppage time. Bayern Munich should be kicking themselves, Where do I think it went wrong for Bayern Munich? I mean, everyone's going to point to the Manuel Neuer mistake, where he should have caught the ball from Vinicius Jr.'s shot. And then Joselu, the substitute, obviously he got the winner as well in the end and got the equaliser. Bayern Munich, for me, it's tough, really, because I think, obviously, their whole season was gearing towards this game. And to give it away the way it did, I mean, you can't really blame Thomas Tuchel for that. I think Manuel Neuer, obviously, is an experienced goalkeeper and should have done better with the save. But obviously, no one's going to place too much blame on Neuer because Neuer is obviously a legend for the club and has done a lot. But to make that crucial mistake at that time was pretty poor, to be honest. And it cost his team the game because the momentum swung in Real Madrid's favour. And then, as I said, Joselu got the winner in the end, which takes Real Madrid to the final to face Borussia Dortmund. Harry Kane, I think if Real Madrid, I think if Bayern Munich would have got to the final, Harry Kane would have been in with a shout to win the Ballon d'Or if they would have won the whole competition. I think obviously, definitely now, Harry Kane's not going to win a Ballon d'Or. And arguably, he fluffed his lines when Bayern Munich were 1-0 up. I think he had a ball where Jamal Musiala played him through. And obviously, on his left foot, he tried to go for the near post and missed the target. I think in games like that, Harry Kane is a top footballer, but too many times he often fluffs his lines, whether it be semi-finals or finals, international-wise or club-wise, which is seen in the past. And I think had Harry Kane have put that chance away, that would have given Bayern Munich the cushion that they needed, and they would have gone on to see the game out. But it wasn't to be. And to be honest with you, Bayern Munich, in a sense, as a team, I think they've only got themselves to blame. I do think they were hard done by. In actual fact, I think it's a pretty poor decision from the referee. The goal from Matthias de Ligt. So the ball got played in, and then it was actually a Real Madrid head that headed the ball out to Thomas Muller, and then Thomas Muller headed it down towards de Ligt, who hit it in. But apparently the whistle had already been blown. But that was poor on the referee's part because had a Bayern Munich player would have got his head to the ball, then it would have been a tight call for offside. But the Real Madrid player got his head to the ball, which meant that it shouldn't have been given offside. But then because the ref blew the whistle already, obviously VAR can't get involved in that, which is it's obviously going to penalise Bayern Munich, which is silly, really. But yeah, so Bayern Munich tumble out of the Champions League, and then Real Madrid again go through to the final, which you'd expect them to win, and I believe they win that. That'll be their 15th Champions League. And this is the thing with Real Madrid. Real Madrid, when it comes to the Champions League, they are a different animal. They always get it done. I would love to see Borussia Dortmund win the Champions League. More of the underdog in terms of no one expected them to win it, but mainly because I want Jadon Sancho to win a Champions League and have that under his belt. And then when he returns to Man United in the summer, if he wants to come back, he returns a champion. So that's mainly the reason why I want Dortmund to win it. But you'd have to say now Real Madrid are the favourites with the quality that they've got in their team. Most notably Vinicius Jr, who I'm going to speak about now. So yeah, I think my predictions for the Champions League final. Hopefully Dortmund can win, but I'm gonna go for a. I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Real Madrid. I'm gonna go for 2-1 Real Madrid. As I say, hopefully I'm wrong. Hope Dortmund can sneak a victory, but I think if Vinicius Jr is on form, then I can only see Real winning that. And for me, yeah, that's going to be the result. And talking of Vinicius Jr, is Vinicius Jr the best player in the world right now? 100%. I've been saying this for the past few months now. Well, no, I've been saying this for the past few years. I think ever since Messi and Neymar, especially, left Europe to play, Vinicius Jr has taken over the mantle as the best player in the world for me. I think Vinicius Jr, in terms of his creativity, showing up in the big games when it matters, he does that consistently, and he is a top player, Vinicius Jr. And if Real Madrid do win the Ballon d'Or, if Real Madrid do win the Champions League, he for sure has to win the Ballon d'Or. If he doesn't win the Ballon d'Or, then it's going to be a conspiracy. As I said on Twitter yesterday, it will be a conspiracy if Vinicius doesn't win the Ballon d'Or, because he's by far Real Madrid's most important player from an attacking standpoint, and he's been the best player in the world for the last couple of seasons, really, in Europe. He always shows up when it matters. Yesterday, he was the best player on the pitch for Real Madrid. And yeah, obviously, it was his shot that Joselu got for the equalizer. But I think with Vinicius, I think it's about time that he's given his respect for the criticism he's been putting up with in Spain. But I think since Benzema left, he's taken on that mantle of being Real Madrid's go-to man. And the thing is, if Mbappe does come in the summer, it's not going to be to replace Vinicius. I believe Mbappe, if he does come in the summer, it's going to be interesting, because Mbappe, as we've seen, can't play down the middle. He's not effective down the middle, and his position is on the left. But that's Vinicius Junior's. So if Mbappe does come, he's going to have to adapt his game to being a central striker, really. I can't see the formation changing as such. I mean, at the moment, they're playing with Bellingham as like a false nine. And even that, if Mbappe does come in, it's going to be interesting, because you've got Rodrigo and Vinny playing a split wideman, come strikers, and then Bellingham as like the false nine, come midfielder. But if Mbappe does come into the team, Rodrigo for me can't get dropped, because Rodrigo is crucial for Real Madrid as well. And even that formation that they're playing at the moment, I don't see Mbappe playing like that with Vinicius Jr and Bellingham as the false nine. Something's going to have to give. And in my opinion, I can see it being a front three of Rodrigo, Mbappe, Vinicius, and Bellingham, for me, will struggle to get in the team, because if you're playing with them three, Bellingham's not a number 10, and arguably you've got players who are better number 10s than him playing there. And then that means if you don't play him as a 10 and you play three in midfield, you got obviously Toni Kroos who signed a new contract. Modric looks like he might be going, but you've got Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and Valverde. And obviously you've got young Arda Güler who's coming through, and Brahim Diaz as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Real Madrid's lineup if Mbappe does arrive. But for sure, Mbappe's likelihood of winning the Champions League is now done. Same with Harry Kane, as I mentioned. So the Ballon d'Or now is Vinicius Junior's. I know people, media and that, want to say Jude Bellingham. There's no way Jude Bellingham should or could win the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion, because it should be given to the best player, not someone that's getting numbers. And Vinicius Jr. for me is the outright favourite. And even if Real Madrid don't win the Champions League, it will be very interesting to see who they give it to, because I don't see no Dortmund player getting it, really, you know. And to be honest with you, it will be good if Dortmund do win Champions League, and it'll be interesting to see who they actually give Ballon d'Or to, because I still believe it should be Vinicius Jr. But it will really let me know as to what the thinking is behind if Real Madrid don't win Champions League and Dortmund win it. Because, as I said, I don't think a Dortmund player won't win Ballon d'Or, because Dortmund have performed not that great in the Bundesliga. I think they're fifth as it stands at the moment. But I think that the Champions League, there's not really been an outstanding player for them in that. I mean, Jadon Sancho, obviously, against the first leg, was played very well. But I think because he only joined in January, I don't see them giving it to him. Definitely not. So it'd be interesting to see what they actually do, you know. But for me, Vinicius Jr. Has to win Ballon d'Or. Another great performance again from him, and I fully expect him to carry that on into the final. And speaking of Real Madrid, Carlo Ancelotti. For me, I think there's two people in the running for this to complete the top three. And my question is Carlo Ancelotti, if he wins this Champions League, the greatest ever manager in the history of the game? You know, you'll have some people that will rightfully say Sir Alex Ferguson, and then you've got Pep Guardiola, and then you've got Carlo Ancelotti. I think for me, those three, there's obviously other managers with pedigree, but I think those three in particular are the main three for me. Ancelotti, Pep, and Ferguson. Now, it's hard because in terms of football, the way football's played, Pep for me is arguably the greatest manager of all time, and the trophies he's won. Sir Alex Ferguson for what he done for Man United, you know, and the dominance that United had in the Premiership. Obviously, people were saying he's one of the greatest. For me, Ferguson didn't really replicate his excellence in the Premiership in Europe. Often they were beaten by a lot of minnows in Europe. And then you've got Ancelotti, who has won multiple Champions Leagues. He's won a title in Italy with AC Milan. He's won a title in France with PSG, title in England with Chelsea, title in Spain with Real Madrid. So any team that he's managed, obviously bar Everton, because Everton for him was just a little holiday, I would say. But any major team that he's gone to in the league, he's won a title for them, you know, and multiple Champions Leagues as well. So there'll be a good argument to say, is Ancelotti the greatest ever? And you know what? If I was to do a top three, if I'm honest, I would say my top three. And again, like what I did yesterday with the top four strikers generation, there's no shame in coming last in this order. But for me, I would say based on everything, you know, I would say Pep Guardiola first, purely because of the football that he plays. I know, obviously, Pep does kill certain players, you know, with his system. But I think trophies won. If he wins the league this season, that'll be 4 league titles in a row, which has never been done in the Premiership before. And I know people will say, obviously, Pep's always had the money, but you know, he still has to identify with his team the right players and get a right system in place. And then you've got Ancelotti, who, as I say, is managing Real Madrid at the moment, and is a multiple times Champions League winner. And the fact that he went to Everton as well, and Everton, and Everton. I can't remember where Everton finished, but he took them to I want to say in the top 10. I think they might have been finished when he brought in James Rodriguez and a few other players. I think they might have finished higher than 10th. I think based on all those things, yeah, for me, Pep first, Ancelotti second, and Ferguson for me would be third for the greatest managers of all time. And as I said to you, because I know Ferguson won 2 Champions Leagues, but I think probably I know Pep's obviously won 1 Champions League, but I'll probably say Pep and Ancelotti, based on everything, edge Ferguson out in my opinion. But as I said, there's no shame in finishing bottom of them 3, because for me they are 3 of the greatest managers to ever manage in the game, you know. And if Ancelotti wins another Champions League, you know, he's definitely going to cement himself, for me, 1 and 2. Incredible manager, Ancelotti. So yeah, that's my my take on that. Hope you guys like the stream. I say don't forget to smash the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In. And I'm gonna be back tomorrow. I'm gonna do players to watch out for next season. There's a certain Brighton youngster that I believe has the potential to be a top player, and it won't surprise me if he performs well next season. He'll be on the move to one of the European heavyweights, because I think he's got a lot of potential. I'm going to touch on him tomorrow. So yeah, if you guys want to find out who the person is, I say subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take it easy.